Can you be relaxed and still play tennis with intensity? That's what we're going to get into in today's video. And just to clarify, I'm not talking about the state of mind of relaxation. This can actually come in very handy during the course of a tennis match. But I'm more talking about physically relaxing the arm or the body and whether we can do this while at the same time playing with intensity. So I'm going to try to be completely relaxed as I'm swinging. Let's see what happens. Oops, that was too relaxed. So obviously that was too loose, but you can see that if I'm relaxed, the intensity goes away from my body. So let me try to be a little more intense and let's see what happens. So right away, I get more power, I get a cleaner, firmer contact, and this does not feel stiff at all. So relaxing very much looks like tanking. If you ever see a player who doesn't try, is basically giving up on the match, that player is relaxed and is lacking any type of intensity in the body. And this is how Roger Federer will warm up for his matches when he's in a tournament. And don't confuse this with Federer's practice. I guarantee you that when Federer is actually practicing, he has incredible intensity just like he has when he plays a match. And we shouldn't therefore use Federer's warm-up sessions and study his technique, because this is not how he plays. He's not this loose and relaxed when he plays a real match. If Federer didn't exist and there was only Djokovic and Nadal, nobody would be talking about relaxation or looseness, because those two guys do not look very relaxed or loose when they're striking the ball. If you look at their face when they're striking the ball, if you listen to the grunting, if you look at all the muscle flexion when they're making contact with the ball, it's clear to see that they're not that relaxed when they're striking the ball. And if you look at the vast majority of players' faces when they make contact with the ball, you can see that they're grimacing, they're also grunting, their muscles are under flexion when they make contact with the ball. So it's clear to see that the players are under a lot of intensity when they're performing their strokes. And without this intensity, high-level tennis is not possible. And this goes even for Federer. He has a lot of intensity when he plays, even though his face looks calm, he doesn't grunt, but yet if you take a look at his muscle flexion at the moment of contact, you can clearly see that Federer has a lot of intensity, just like all the other players. So let's talk about the actual mechanics of a stroke and how relaxation can play a role. So there's nothing wrong if you're relaxed in the preparation stages of the stroke, whether it be a forehand or a serve. Being loose in the preparation stage might help you with the rhythm. But as soon as you start accelerating the stroke, do not continue to stay loose, or your stroke will become extremely sloppy. On the other hand, do not hold the racket too tight either, because this will result in a loss of power. What you have to do instead is simply not think of relaxation and not think of tightening the hold of the racket. Naturally, as you play, you will figure it out. If you're holding the racket too loose, what's going to happen? The contact is going to be sloppy and the racket is going to move around if you're in your hand. If you're holding the racket too tight, you will feel tense and you feel like you're not getting any power. Don't think about it. Naturally, you will figure out how tight to hold the racket. And also when you're playing, and naturally the body will figure out how much pressure to apply to the strokes. But the most important thing, and where a lot of recreational players are lacking, is intensity. And the way I can describe it is you feel like your entire body is under electricity. There has to be a constant intensity in your body as you're performing every stroke. There are also some theories that the arm is swinging around by itself. You have to remember that the arm is the #1 power source on all your strokes. If you don't have your arm, obviously you would not be able to play tennis. Just think if you have a wrist injury, an elbow injury, or a shoulder injury, you are completely unable to play tennis. So check this out. I'm hitting the forehand without using my body at all. This is just simply an arm action, and I can hit the ball pretty hard. I would say I can probably get 70% of my normal power on the stroke, and this is by using the arm only. Now if I did this for a long period of time, there's a risk of injury because the arm is not supported by the rest of the body. So the arm is obviously an indispensable part of tennis, and it provides us with the much needed stability of the racket at the moment of contact, irrelevant of which stroke we're producing. Now, do you need a strong arm to be able to play tennis at the high level? Absolutely not. You don't even need to have that many muscles, because what's going to happen on the tennis stroke, the arm is going to be supported by the whole body. So we're not just swinging the arm around by itself. This is not what you want to do. Even though you could get a vast majority of your power that way, it will come at the cost of the arm, and you can possibly injure it that way. So what you're going to do is support the arm by utilizing torso rotation. So you're going to have a solid foundation, and then the torso rotation is going to accommodate the swing path, and this is going to help the arm out tremendously. And this is why it feels like we're not using the arm that much when we're playing tennis. And do not consciously loosen or relax the arm to achieve certain technical elements. This is unnecessary. These technical elements will take place completely by themselves without you ever being conscious of them if you perform the fundamentals correctly.